Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Our previous meeting that started at 4 o'clock went a little bit late, so I just wanted to announce, because I know our live webcast starts at 6 o'clock exactly. So for people who may be listening at home and for people in the audience, we would like to take a 10-minute break, if that's okay, and come back at about 10 after 6, and we will start the meeting at 10 after 6 with the Mayor's Declaration of Oath and our Mayor Office and Oath of Allegiance. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for accommodating us to allow us to have a little bit of bite to eat and take a bio break. So there we go. All right. So I would like to start off this meeting. I mean, we do have a couple of exciting things coming up on our agenda tonight. We have the declaration of oath of office and oath of allegiance. But prior to us going to that, I would just like to acknowledge the presence today in our town room here of two former members of council, or three former members of council. Mr. Jean-Serge Brisson, councillor for the Township of Russell, Monsieur André Brisson at the back as well, and our former mayor, Pierre Leroux, standing at the back as well. So I just want to acknowledge that they were here tonight. Welcome to one of our meetings, sitting on the other side. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. So without further ado, we're going to move to roll call. Members of council are here and accounted for. And we will start, Madame Camide, with the Mayor's Declaration of Office and Oath of Allegiance. And I actually said it right this time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, Mr. Mike Ternowski, we have the Bible and your Declaration of Office.
Merci beaucoup. I, Mike Ternowski, having been appointed to the office of the mayor in the Township of Russell, do solemnly swear and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise the office to my best knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payments, reward, or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance to the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if it was made under oath. J'aimerais aussi dire un gros merci à Joanne. She did put where to sign. She put a little sticky note because I was a little nervous there. Alors, avant de continuer avec notre réunion, si je pourrais juste dire quelques petits mots, s'il vous plaît, puis je vais les dire en français et en anglais. Alors, mesdames et messieurs, membres du conseil, membres dévoués du personnel, chers résidents de notre belle municipalité et bien sûr à ma chère famille. C'est avec un profond honneur et un grand sens de responsabilité que je suis ici devant vous aujourd'hui en tant que nouveau maire. Je tiens à exprimer ma gratitude à notre maire sortant, M. Pierre Leroux, pour ses années de service dévouées, ainsi qu'aux conseillers lorrains pour avoir pris le relais et soutenu la municipalité pendant cette période de transition. En assumant ce rôle, je suis conscient de la confiance que vous m'accordez. Cette confiance n'est pas prise à la légère. L'une des valeurs fondamentales qui guidera mon mandat en tant que maire est l'importance de l'engagement. Notre force réside dans notre diversité et dans la participation active de nos résidents. Je vais encourager vivement un dialogue ouvert, une implication active et un sens des responsabilités partagées dans la construction de l'avenir de notre municipalité. Bien sûr, je m'engage aussi à continuer de servir la municipalité avec intégrité, dévouement envers nos valeurs communes. En accord avec cet engagement, je promets de travailler en étroite collaboration avec notre conseil et notre personnel pour continuer à mettre en œuvre notre plan stratégique 2023 à 2026, qui se concentre sur le leadership, l'innovation, la durabilité, le développement, l'équité et notre santé communautaire. Ces stratégies guideront nos efforts pour stimuler la croissance économique, améliorer les infrastructures et grandir une haute qualité de vie à tous nos résidents. La responsabilité financière continuera à être partie clé de mon administration. Nous devons nous assurer que chaque dollar dépensé est utilisé de manière judicieuse et efficace. Cela signifie l'utilisation optimale des subventions et des opportunités de partenariat pour aider à financer nos gros projets. En agissant ainsi, nous pouvons construire une municipalité résiliente et prête pour l'avenir sans imposer un fardeau financier excessif aux résidents actuels et futurs. Finalement, je voudrais aussi prendre un moment pour remercier ma merveilleuse épouse Tracy, nos 2 enfants et leurs partenaires. Votre soutien, votre amour et vos encouragements sont mes piliers. Je suis profondément reconnaissant pour votre compréhension et votre patience alors que j'assume ce rôle important. Vos sacrifices et votre dévouement me permettent de servir notre communauté avec l'engagement qu'elle le mérite. Alors que nous entreprenons ce voyage ensemble, je suis rempli d'optimisme, d'un sentiment renouvelé de mission. Les défis à venir sont nombreux, mais les opportunités le sont autant. Avec votre soutien, votre engagement et notre vision partagée, je suis convaincu que nous pouvons faire de notre municipalité un endroit encore meilleur pour vivre et à travailler. Merci de votre confiance, de votre engagement et de votre support pour notre avenir collectif. Construisons ensemble une communauté dont nous pouvons tous être fiers. Merci. Alors, je vais la redire en anglais pour m'assurer que tout le monde a bien pu comprendre. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed council members, dedicated staff, and cherished residents of Russell Township and my beloved family. With profound honor and a deep sense of responsibility, I stand before you today as our newly appointed mayor. I wanted to express my heartfelt gratitude to our outgoing mayor, Pierre Leroux, for his invaluable years of dedicated service, and to Councillor Lorrain for stepping in and supporting the township during this transition period. As I assume this role, I'm reminded of the trust and confidence you have placed in me. This trust is not taken lightly. I am committed to serving Russell Township with integrity, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to our shared values. One of the core values that will guide my tenure as mayor is the importance of widespread engagement. Our strength lies in our diversity and the active participation of all our residents. I strongly encourage open dialogue, active involvement, and a sense of shared responsibility in sharing the future of our township. In alignment with this commitment, I pledge to work closely with our council and staff to deliver on our 2023-26 strategic plan, which focuses on leadership, innovation, sustainability, development, equity, and community health. These strategies will guide our efforts in enhancing economic growth, improving infrastructure, and ensuring a high quality of life for all our residents. Fiscal responsibility will be the cornerstone of our administration. We must ensure that every dollar spent is used wisely and efficiently. This means leveraging the optimal use of grants and partnership opportunities to help fund our upcoming major infrastructure projects. By doing so, we can build a resilient and future-ready township without placing undue financial burden on current and, of course, future residents. Finally, and most importantly, I would like to take a moment to thank my wonderful wife, our 2 children, and their partners. Your unwavering support, love, and encouragement have been my bedrock, and I'm profoundly grateful for your understanding and patience as I take on this significant role. Your sacrifices and dedication allow me to serve our community with the commitment it deserves. As we embark on this journey together, I'm filled with optimism and a renewed sense of purpose. The challenges ahead are numerous, but so are the opportunities. With your support, engagement, and shared vision, I'm confident we can make Russell Township an even better place to live, work, and play. Thank you for your trust and commitment. Thank you for your trust, commitment, and belief in our collective future. Let us build a community that we can all be proud of. Thank you very much. Okay, now the work begins. All right. Okay, so we'll start with our territorial land acknowledgement and a moment of reflection.
We acknowledge that we are on the unceded territory of the Anishinaabe and traditional lands of the Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat, and Kanien'kehá:ka peoples. We acknowledge our shared obligation to respect, honor, and sustain these lands and the natural resources contained within.
Attendu que le Canada est fondé sur les principes qui reconnaissent la suprématie de Dieu et la primauté du droit, prenons un moment de réflexion personnelle. On peut chanter si tu veux.
Kanien'kehá:ka peoples. We acknowledge our shared obligation to respect.
Good job. On va toujours s'en rappeler de ça. Sing it. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all of us command, car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you. Great adaptability there, Councillor Lalonde. All right, moving forward on the agenda, additions, deletions, or amendments. Councillor Deakin.
I would like to add slow down for us signage to the agenda, please.
Slow down for us signage. Okay, any other additions, deletions, or amendments? Councillor Lorraine?
So I guess that would be 18B.
Yeah.
I'd just like to regarding the yard and leaf pickup, I'd like to have an explanation of the change this year regarding when it gets picked up, so that we can have that announced.
Thank you. So 18B, leaf
Yeah.
yard pickup. Thank you. Any other additions, deletions? Oui, Madame Kéméré.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, so I have two. We have a bylaw to be added under number 16 for the appointment for the Teens Committee. And also to remove item 11D, which is the bylaw assuming a public highway, report PD 2024-21. And also its bylaw, which is under 16, as bylaw 2024-044.
Alors, je confirme, on enlève 11B.
11D.
D. Et le bylaw qui...
Qui va avec, qui est le 044, au numéro 16.
c'est beau, merci.
Merci.
Okay, I need a mover, seconder to approve the agenda as amended. Councillor Lorrain, seconded by Councillor Deacon. All in favor? Thank you. Agenda is approved as amended. Thank you. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. Hearing, seeing none. Thank you. Adoption of minutes, regular council minutes for May 13. Motion to approve the following minutes as presented. Need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Lalonde, seconded by Councillor Lauren. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, presentations. This is a great first night. Citizens Recognition Courage Award. C'est bon. OK, merci. Formidable. Merci. OK. Je suis très chanceux de faire ça pour ma première soirée ici à ce poste. Alors, you don't want to hear my acceptance speech again, I'm sure. All right. So, let me just read this here. Alors, mesdames et messieurs, aujourd'hui, nous sommes réunis pour rendre hommage à deux citoyens extraordinaires dont les actions courageuses lors d'un accident avec l'autobus scolaire ont démontré l'esprit de solidarité et de bienveillance qui caractérise notre belle communauté. Ce jour-là, un autobus scolaire et un camion de transport ont été impliqués dans un accident qui aurait pu avoir des conséquences bien plus graves sans l'intervention héroïque de nos citoyens, entre autres Lynn Perra et Dan Saint-Pierre. Lynn Perra, présente lors de l'accident, a immédiatement réagi en courant vers l'autobus pour évaluer la situation. Constatant que la porte d'entrée était coincée et entendant les cris des enfants, elle a su garder son calme malgré l'odeur d'essence et la vue de sang. Lynn s'est dirigée vers la porte arrière de l'autobus, aidant environ 10 élèves à descendre en sécurité. Elle a réconforté les enfants jusqu'à l'arrivée des secours et des parents, et elle les a même accompagnés dans la maison voisine pour qu'ils puissent se reposer. Son expertise en tant qu'éducatrice spécialisée a été essentielle pour aider les enfants durant ce moment de grande détresse. Lynn, votre bravoure et votre dévouement ont fait une différence immense ce jour-là, et pour cela, nous en sommes profondément reconnaissants. On the other hand, Dan Saint-Pierre, whose property the bus came to rest, was also a beacon of hope and courage. Standing in his driveway when the accident occurred, Dan was just 20 feet from where the bus landed. Without regard for his own safety, he immediately went to assist, finding the main door damaged to open. He opened the emergency door at the rear and helped escort the children safely onto his property until emergency responders arrived. Despite witnessing the injuries and trauma of the children, Dan's kindness did not waver. Moreover, Dan and his wife have had to endure hardship of being unable to live in their home due to the damage from the accident. Dan, your selflessness and ongoing resilience are inspiring, and we're deeply grateful for your actions on that day. Both Lynn and Dan exemplify the values that make our community strong. Their actions during the accident showed incredible courage and an unwavering commitment to the well-being of others. Residents like Lynn and Dan remind us of the power of community and the importance of looking out for each other. En reconnaissance de leur héroïsme et de leur compassion exemplaire, nous sommes très honorés aujourd'hui de remettre à Lynn Perra et Dan Saint-Pierre le prix de reconnaissance des résidents de notre municipalité. Votre courage inspire chacun de nous et c'est avec une immense gratitude que nous célébrons aujourd'hui votre contribution inestimable à notre communauté. Merci Lynn et Dan pour votre héroïsme et votre humanité. La municipalité est fière de vous compter parmi ses résidents. Vous incarnez véritablement l'esprit de notre communauté. Alors, je vous inviterai ici sur le côté. Lynn et Dan. Alors, encore une fois, un gros merci, félicitations. C'est toujours un plaisir de reconnaître nos résidents comme cela. Alors, on continue sur l'agenda. Numéro 9, délégation. Pétition, il n'y en a pas. Number 10, consent items. So all items listed under consent items will be enacted by one motion. A majority vote is required for the adoption of consent items. There will be no separate discussions on these items unless a request is made prior to the time council votes on the motion that the consent item is to be separated from the motion. The separated items shall then be considered immediately thereafter. So motion that all items listed under consent items be received and presented. A, request for the Community Grants and Parks and Recreation Department 2024 budget. B, minutes of the Accessibility Advisory Committee, March 6, 2024. C, minutes of the Township Russell Public Library Board, April 18th, 2024, and Paylist, April 2024. I need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Deacon, seconded by Councillor Lorrain. All in favor? Thank you. All right, moving to item 11, reports from departments and council committees. So financial statements. Report CSAS FS 2024-10. The council receives a report CSAS FS 2024-10 dated May 27th, 2024, and approve the 2023 financial statements presented by MNP SRL, our external auditors, and authorize the mayor and the director of the corporate services treasurer to sign the consolidated statements of financial positions. Alors, à travers vous, M. Godin, M. Dagenet, commentaire?
Bonsoir, chers membres du Conseil. Tonight, we are pleased to welcome Marc Farran from the firm MNP, our accountant responsible for auditing the 23 financial statement of the Township of Russell. Marc and his team have worked closely with our finance department since the end of March to finalize the financial audit for the year 23. Marc will bring his expertise and analysis to present the 23 financial statement, highlighting key points and answering all your questions. The collaboration between MNP and our finance team has been essential in ensuring the accuracy and transparency of our financial report. Thank you.
Merci. Alors, I'll start with members. Oh, pardon. Oui, s'il vous plaît. Oui. Ah, merci.
Je vais garder ce cours. Vous avez reçu deux rapports. Le premier, c'est le Audit Findings Report. Ça fait juste parler de les processus qu'on a entrepris, puis l'étendue, où ce qu'on est rendu avec l'audit, puis qu'est-ce qu'on a trouvé, puis ça vient dire qu'on n'a pas eu de problème ou de disagreements avec l'équipe de finances. Tout a bien été. Je vous remercie, ça a bien été, malgré le fait que c'était la première année après le changement. Donc, pour les états financiers, je vais vraiment commencer par présenter mon rapport. Donc, on a effectué l'audit des états financiers consolidés de la Corporation du canton de Russell qui comprennent l'état consolidé de la situation financière au 31 décembre 2023 et les états consolidés des résultats de la variation de la dette nette et des flux de trésorerie pour l'exercice clos à cette date. Et puis, à notre avis, les états financiers donnent, dans tous leurs aspects significatifs, une image fidèle de la situation financière de la municipalité au 31 décembre 2023, conformément aux normes comptables canadiennes pour le secteur public. Là, je vais passer à l'état consolidé des résultats. Donc, on peut voir, on ne va pas passer toutes les lignes, mais on peut voir que les revenus ont passé de 41 407 000 l'an passé à 47 596 000 cette année, soit une augmentation de 6 188 000. L'augmentation vient par rapport à l'imposition, qui a augmenté de 1,3 million, les frais des usagers qui ont augmenté de 956 000, les paiements de transfert reçus des différents paliers gouvernementaux qui ont augmenté de 723 000. Au niveau des dons, il y a des transferts de subdivision là-dedans, puis ça a augmenté de 1,9 million. Et puis, les redevances d'aménagement qui ont augmenté, qui sont de 6 960 000, soit une augmentation de 1 623 000. Au niveau des charges, on peut voir que les charges ont passé de 30 188 000 l'an passé à 35 848 000 cette année. Les grosses augmentations, on peut voir le roundabout à Saint-Guillaume, qui a une grosse augmentation là, soit 1 773 000, 825 000 de frais additionnels pour la garderie, et puis des frais reliés au parc industriel. Donc, tout ça pour un excédent de l'exercice de 11 748 000. La page suivante, on voit les actifs. Je ne vais pas passer à travers, mais on peut voir augmentation de la dette nette. Elle est rendue à 12 371 307. Puis ensuite, on peut voir les actifs non financiers et les excédents accumulés de 177 millions. Je ne vais pas passer à travers tout le reste des états financiers parce que c'est juste des explications qui donnent plus de détails sur ces chiffres-là. Mais si vous avez des questions, je suis prêt à répondre.
Alors, merci beaucoup. Members of council, questions, comments? Seeing none, thank you very much. Anything else to add, M. Godin, M. Dagenet?
I would like to take the opportunity to thank the firm M&P for their help, expertise, and professionalism demonstrated throughout this audit. It has been a pleasure for us to work with them. Additionally, I would like to extend a big thank you to the entire finance team who have worked very hard since January to achieve our goal of being ready for the audit by the end of March. For many of us, it was our first experience with the year-end procedures at the Township, and for others, it was a first in their respective roles. We have learned a lot during this period, and thanks to a very positive team spirit filled with mutual support, we have achieved our goal. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, M. Dagenet. Si je peux rajouter, c'est vrai que c'est le premier qu'on fait avec vous en poste de CAO, c'est ça?
Oui, merci, M. le maire. Donc, c'est ça, essentiellement, c'est la première année que, avec M. Dagenet en charge des finances. Et aussi, toute son équipe a eu beaucoup de mouvements à l'intérieur. Un départ déclenché, une promotion ici, puis une promotion là. Donc, plus que la moitié de l'équipe de finances était dans les nouveaux postes. Donc, je lève mon chapeau à M. Dagenet et son équipe, définitivement, d'avoir livré ça.
Fantastic. Merci beaucoup. Congratulations to you and your team. All right. Moving along to item B. Zoning bylaw amendment report PD 2024-12 properties at 860 Notre-Dame and 1196 Sainte Marie Road in Embrun. The council receives report PD 2024-12 dated May 27th, 2024 and approves the zoning bylaw amendment to zoning bylaw 2018-094 for the subject properties zoned Village Core Zone to remove the requirement of a children play area and reduce the required parking spaces associated with a retail store and official space on the first floor from 19 to 17 through a special exceptions. Any comments before we move into questions? No. Okay, members of council's comments? Moi, j'avais juste une question de clarification à demander, s'il vous plaît. Je vais juste trouver mes notes ici. Je vais juste demander la question pour le stationnement to go from 19 to 17. That exception, it speaks to for the retail and office space. I just need a clarification. Those 17 spots, or the now 17 spots, is that for residents and retail, or is the exception just being asked for the retail piece?
Merci, Monsieur le Maire. That's only for the commercial and retail space.
Okay.
The residential unit maintained the appropriate amount as per our bylaw.
Okay, so no changes there.
No, just
Okay.
for the commercial and retail portion.
Perfect. Any other questions? No? Thank you. All right, moving to item C. Modification du règlement de zonage rapport PD 2024-13, propriété connue comme étant le 411 rue Church à Russell. Que le Conseil reçoive le rapport PD 2024-13 daté du 27 mai 2024 et approuve la modification du règlement de zonage au règlement numéro 2018-94 pour la propriété en question pour modifier le zonage de zone résidentielle 1R1 à zone résidentielle 2R2 pour permettre la construction d'une habitation jumelée. Any comments to add to this? No? Merci. Question and comments from members of council? Seeing, hearing none. As our former mayor used to say, standard thing. All right. Number D. So D is the one that I'm removed. C'est ça, Madame Caméré? Merci. OK. Alors, item E, Financial Report 2023, Report CSAS-FS 2024-9. The council received report CSAS-FS 2024-09, dated May 27, 2024, and acknowledged the receipt of the final financial report for 2023. Commentaire additionnel, Monsieur Dagenet, à travers vous, Monsieur Godin.
Non, aucun commentaire.
Merci. Questions, comments, members of council? All right, merci. Okay, moving to item F. Capital Budget Amendments 2023 Q4 report CSAS-AM 2024-02. That council receives report CSAS-AM 2024-02 dated May 27th for information purposes only. Any additional comments from staff? None. Questions, comments from members of council? No, seeing none, moving forward. Item G, proposition des panneaux solaires, rapport ISPW 2024-06A. Que le Conseil reçoive le rapport ISPW 2024-06A, daté du 27 mai 2024, et approuve la conclusion d'un accord avec Bright Diamond Consultants et autorise le directeur exécutif des services d'infrastructure à signer la lettre d'intention. Commentaire additionnel, M. Bourgon.
Merci, M. le maire. En jaune, on a souligné en jaune dans le fait ce qui a été changé par rapport du dernier rapport présenté au Conseil. La lettre d'intention a été révisée par notre avocat. Comme illustré dans le rapport, c'est vraiment pour donner une exclusivité avec le consultant, pour pouvoir travailler avec eux dans les prochains 18 mois. C'est vraiment à ce niveau-là qu'on a un engagement avec eux. Au travers du processus, eux, de préparer leur application, le Conseil aura comme identifié différentes étapes pour pouvoir approuver autant l'entente, le changement de zonage. La signature d'une entente elle va vraiment arriver à la fin du processus. Ça, c'est si leur soumission est retenue pour faire l'installation. Like I highlighted in the report, there's really what's binding the municipalities to work exclusively with them for the 18 months. There's some termination clause in that letter as well, if council wishes to opt out at any point in time during that 18 months.
Merci, monsieur. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Bourgon. Questions, comments from members of council? We had some questions on this previously. Anything, Councillor Deakin?
Thank you. So just for clarification, again, there's still that discrepancy between the report to council and the financial analysis piece. So at this point in the letter of intent, we're not including the number of acres necessarily that the project would be or that we would be willing to go in on.
Through Mr. Mayor, so what will be included in the letter, it's like a map with the area that still need to be investigated. So maximum it could be it's 45, but when we account for the area that we plant trees and like removing those areas, so the definite amount of acreage will be determined when it's time to sign a formal agreement. So that's why the financial piece will be adjusted from 25 to, let's say, 37, if it can be maybe the magic number at that point.
Merci, Monsieur Bourgon. Follow-up?
Yeah, just, excuse me, a comment, because it's great timing, frankly. I think that these are coming next to each other, the landfill annual monitoring report, and understanding that there are ways that the vegetation seems to be supporting groundwater conservation. And just to make clear for the public and for myself this evening that going into this letter of intent does not determine what would happen with that vegetation, what purpose that vegetation is serving. That would all be to be determined, if I understand.
Yeah, that's correct. So we still need to work on those details with our consultant of the landfill, like you mentioned. In terms of vegetation, we want to also look at maybe to have pollinators under the solar panels. So those are items that still need to be worked on.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Any other questions from members of council? Thank you. Alors, je confirme, M. Bourgon, en ce moment, cette lettre ne nous met pas dans une position où on signe quelque chose comme vraiment...
Non, comme mentionné, l'item, c'est vraiment l'exclusivité à travailler avec eux là, dans le processus.
Et en questionnant l'exclusivité, we don't have any other proponents that are interested in that, but we have not been approached by any other proponents. We're not turning anyone away, but we're also not running after looking for other people. Is that correct?
That's correct. We haven't received any other proposal, and we didn't really, we didn't express an expression of interest either.
Yeah, this was an unsolicited request.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, thank you. Councillor Lorrain?
Thank you. Just to be clear, so under the letter of intent, there's the following elements are covered. It says rezoning, the agreement, and whatnot. Are those things that are that are at the cost of the proponent or at the cost of the township?
Through Mr. Mayor, at the cost of the proponent.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on this item? No? Merci. Alors, we'll move forward to 2023 Landfill Annual Monitoring Report, Report ISPW 2024-10. That council receives Report ISPW 2024-10 dated May 27th, 2024, and acknowledges the receipt of the 2023 Landfill Annual Monitoring Report. Monsieur Bourgon, any additional comments?
The major portion or exercise that we did in 23 was to update our model to see the movement of the plume, of the leachate plume in the groundwater. So we were waiting to analysis to be completed to work or to start working. So we'll have the element to include in next year's budget to protect nearby wells.
Merci beaucoup. Commentaires, membres du conseil? Comments? Seeing, hearing none? Okay, moving forward. Demande de Ballard sur South Russell, report, rapport ISPW 2024-11-11, que le conseil reçoive le rapport ISPW-2024-11 daté du 27 mai 2024 et adopte la résolution ci-jointe pour envoyer aux comtés unis de Prescott-Russell. Commentaire additionnel?
Je peux seulement peut-être préciser que l'allocation, c'est vraiment en ligne avec le chemin héritage où la traverse à piétons a été installée là, un an et demi passé.
Formidable, merci. Commentaire, conseiller Laurent?
Yeah, I just wanted to make the comment on this report is something that I know that I had a few discussions with Mr. Godin about this, and hopefully over the next little while we can look at ways to reduce the requirements of this type of request coming to council or being held up by this council or the United Counties, understanding it's a county's road, but we should be able to put up bollards if we require them, or if we feel that they're required in our area to help support the safety of the community, rather than, you know, going through this process every single time. And I know Mr. Godin has mentioned to me that that's something that you're going to be looking at from a policy perspective, and hopefully we can kind of cut that process down a bit and leave it to an administrative level rather than a political level. You know, I find it very frustrating at times when, you know, is it the right thing to do? Let's just do it, versus having to wait and wait and wait. I mean, by the time we get these up, it'll be September, right, for the next, or August for the next school year, rather than having them up last week when school is still in session. So I hope that we can really work towards that enhancement. So I
Thank
thank
you.
you for taking that.
Thank you. Additional comments, Monsieur Godin, Monsieur Bourgon?
Merci, Monsieur Mayor, and thank you, Councillor Lauren, for the comments. And yeah, so it is something we're looking at internally here as far as policy goes, to see if there's anything we can do to delegate that authority. And having discussions with the counties to see if that's something that they were interested in considering as well, just to, like you said, reduce the red tape and follow the provincial standards.
Merci, Monsieur. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Godin. Any other questions, comments on this? No? Thank you. All right. Proposed sidewalk along South Russell, report ISPW 2024-12. The council received report ISPW 2024-12 dated May 27th and approve a pilot project as a sidewalk alternative. Any additional comments from staff?
I can maybe just clarify that that barrier will be installed the full length of what was proposed as a sidewalk.
Okay, so can you clarify that full length?
So it's from the near the existing sidewalk, so almost in front of the fire station in Russell, and all the way to the intersection of Cummings.
Okay, perfect. So that covers the school area and everything.
Exactly.
Okay, merci beaucoup. Questions, comments? Councillor Laurent?
Yeah, I mean, I know I've been sitting here the whole time, but do we remember why we took the sidewalks out to begin with, and the fact that the road, you talk about the road and the drainage and stuff, but there was already a sidewalk there. Is it because we redid the road there at one point?
Unfortunately, I don't have the answer. That was before my time. So from my time here at the township, so for the last 12 years, there was never a sidewalk. So we're trying to, so I don't have the answer tonight.
Okay, yeah, because I know when it was put in, there was a sidewalk there, because the first year that I was, in 2006, there was a sidewalk there, because I remember putting all my signs along that side and the kids knocking them all down as they were walking to school, so, but there was a sidewalk there, so I don't remember when it was taken out, but I'm just trying to understand how it worked then, but it won't work now, kind of thing. So I'm just assuming that because of the road change, we put the other development on the other side of the road, and there were road cuts and stuff, and so there was things that were fixed up. But I guess from a pilot perspective, we can see if it'll work and whether or not it makes sense, and then go on from there. But from a cost perspective, it is a little bit less expensive to do it that way. I just hope the safety is still there for the residents.
So just a point of clarification, Monsieur Bourgon, doing that would be similar to what we have on Blais, is that, or will there actually be like the cement separators there?
So we'll actually, like the picture included in our report, we'll have that concrete barrier.
Yeah.
Along the white line with bollards on top
Okay.
of it.
Okay, merci. Councillor Lorraine, follow up?
Because we're calling it a pilot, we don't have that anywhere else in our municipality, correct?
That's correct.
And we may look at this as an opportunity to do it in other areas.
Exactly. So if we have a good feedback from that project, well, yeah, it could be implemented at other areas where we have those multi-use paths, and to protect our pedestrian or user of that path.
Okay, thank you.
C'est bon, merci beaucoup. Any other questions, comments on this item? Merci. OK. Numéro K, élimination des bouts du bassin d'épuration d'Embrun, rapport ISWW 2024-01. Que le Conseil reçoive le rapport ISWW 2024-01 daté du 27 mai 2024 et approuve l'attribution du contrat à GFL pour l'enlèvement des boues pour un total de 425 800 $ plus 7 494 $ et 8 sous. C'est-tu vraiment 8 sous? On est là? Je lis-tu mal ou? Hein? Oui, OK. Alors, ce qui totale 433 294 $ et 8 sous. Ce montant inclut 1,76 % de TVH non remboursable. Commentaires de l'équipe? No? Questions, comments from members of council? Councillor Lorrain.
I get concerned when I see such discrepancies in costing. And I know that, that we're gonna go with the lowest price here, but I get concerned that did they miss something? Is, you know, and cost, change requests and all that type of stuff comes up, when I see things like this. So I just wanna get a confidence level that they've understood the entire project as put out, and that we're not going to get hit with additional fees based on the fact that there was a misunderstanding or misinterpretation of the language. You know, one of the projects was, what, 50% higher, and the other one was 100%, over 100% higher. So that concerns me.
Thank you, Councillor Lorrain. Comments, Mr. Bourgon?
We used an RFP process as well, so there were some points allocated on the methodology. And GFL do meet the requirement of what we're asking for here. And there was a site meet. I should have added that to the report, but all proponent did receive the report of how much needs to be removed, and they were present on a site meeting as well. So we're confident that they understood the full scope of work here.
Thank you, Mr. Bourgon. Any other comments or questions from members of council? Seeing, hearing none, go to item I. Nation and Russell Water and Wastewater Communal System Agreement, Report ISWW-2024-02, that council receives Report ISWW-2024-02 dated May 27, 2024, and approve the entry into an agreement with the nation for the Water and Wastewater Communal System Agreement, and authorize the mayor and the clerk to sign the agreement. Any additional comments from staff?
I can add that the nation council did approve that agreement at their last meeting, so 2 weeks ago.
Okay, thank you very much. Questions, comments, members of council? Councillor Lauren.
So with an additional, if I'm looking at this correctly, we're looking to receive an additional 144 units of water and sewer?
Those are the allocations or the units that council allocated last fall, so last December. So it's really what we have allocated today. So it's not extra. It's really the amount that were allocated last fall.
So we're not gaining any new?
No, it's the process of now their system being restrained a lot for the water units. So it's to add the procedure that even though it's allocated, the nation still need to approve before going out to a building permit, because they're doing a tally regularly this year until their upgrades are completed.
So I'm confused. If we had the ability to assign and to allocate those 144 units as of January 1st, and we did that based on the fact that we had an agreement in place for those units, then what is this new agreement for?
Well, one, our franchise agreement did expire. In the interim, before they get the complete upgrades of their system, they don't have all those units available. So it needs to be on a per request basis of those that we have allocated. So some of that project or some of those projects may not move forward for another 3 years approximately when those upgrades to the Clarence Rockland system will be completed.
Merci. Follow up?
Yeah, I'm still confused as to the fact that we're signing an agreement with 0 additional capacities to our township.
So it's to establish that process that even though we did allocate all those units, it doesn't mean that they'll be able to proceed in the next short frame, so 2-3 years. So with that agreement, put that process in place until those upgrades are completed. When they are, we'll be in a position to negotiate a new agreement with the nation.
So we were able to allocate, sorry?
Sir, did?
No, I'll go next.
Okay, thank you.
So we were able to allocate units based on the fact that we were told we had them based on our old agreement. And now, even though we've allocated them, they're saying that the proponents who receive those allocations from us will not be able to proceed or may not be able to proceed?
May not be able to proceed until the upgrades are completed.
And have these proponents been made aware that they cannot proceed or may not be able to proceed?
Yes.
Thank you. No, no other comments? Thank you. All right. M, rapport annuel des performances sur les eaux pluviales 2023, rapport IS SW 2024-03, que le Conseil reçoive rapport IS SW 2024-03 daté du 27 mai 2024 et accuse la réception du rapport annuel de performance sur les eaux pluviales 2023. Commentaire, membre de l'équipe?
Similaire comme qu'on doit faire pour nos égouts sanitaires. C'est un rapport qu'on doit maintenant produire de façon annuelle, qui sera présenté au Conseil là, environ à ce temps-ci de l'année. Puis c'est pour répondre à nos nouvelles exigences de notre approbation là, de notre CLI ici.
Merci. Comments, members of council? Conseiller Lalonde?
I have a few, if I could be so bold as to run through a couple. Just in no particular order, there was a mention of the La Belle Pond that couldn't be sampled last year and that would be sampled, in fact, this spring. Has that happened as of yet?
Mr. Bourgon?
Would need to confirm that fact with the team.
Okay.
Merci. Follow-up?
I know I got some information prior to the meeting starting, but certainly, and maybe this is a comment, with a lot of overgrown vegetation and the precarity of the embankments and the ability or the inability to do some of the inspections because of those things. And then adding to that, the mention of Trillium Heritage Storm not being to modern standards, which means to say, I guess, that that's going to have to be completely overhauled or rebuilt. I imagine that this is going to involve, in the rehabilitation, all this stuff and this work, a significant amount of money over the coming year or years. Is my understanding correct?
Mr. Bourgon?
Yes, it's correct. It's a system like we was mentioned, like we are in 2018, we did a master plan to see all the future upgrades or improvement required. So we are following that path that, yes, definitely will have major investment in the years to come in that system.
Mr. Bourgon, follow-up?
Just one, I guess, minor, I could have said it first because your last statement is more significant, but there was a minor error, I think, I wrote it down as being on page 1 in the complaint section. I think the date is wrong. It talks about when it starts, but it gives zeros for when it's to be completed. I have it as page 1 in the complaints section.
Mr. Bourgon?
Yes, we noticed that as well afterwards, and it's the way the system generates our complaint, but it's in 23.
2023, okay, merci. Any other questions, members of council? Seeing, hearing none. Okay, moving to item N. Déclaration d'un siège vacant au sein du conseil municipal, rapport CSAS-CL-2024-05, que le conseil reçoive le rapport CSAS-CL 2024-05, daté du 27 mai 2024, et comme recommandé que le poste de conseiller municipal Mike Tarnowski du canton de Russell soit déclaré vacant à compter du lundi 27 mai 2024 et que le conseil donne une direction à la greffière pour l'examen du conseil sur la façon dont le conseil souhaite pouvoir pourvoir le siège vacant dans un proche avenir. Questions or Madame Camille, anything to add to that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Not really. So the recommendation is to receive the report and to declare the seat vacant, and the direction can be provided tonight by council or at another meeting. That all depends on council. And the two options are as like indicated in the report, to appoint a person to fill the vacancy or to pass a bylaw requiring a by-election to be held to fill the vacancy. And this would need to be done within 60 days after tonight, which is the declaration of the vacant position.
Merci beaucoup. Alors, questions, comments from members of council? Councilor Leroy.
I'd like to separate this item so that we can make an amendment. I don't know about the rest of council, but I'm not ready to make a decision this evening on the direction. I think we can declare the seat vacant, but I still would like some additional time to meet with members of the public just to gauge their interest in how they want that to go. So I would like to have that come back in June, and I'd probably be the June 24th meeting, because I think we have a pretty busy meeting on June 10th already with the public meeting in advance. So I'd like council to consider deferring that second piece to June 24th.
Thank you. Any additional comments from members of council? Seeing, hearing none, so we'll separate that item and vote on it separately. Thank you. All right. Recommendation 2024-01 du comité consultatif sur l'accessibilité, programme Nouvelles Frontières, que le Conseil reçoive la recommandation 2024-01 datée du 15 mai 2024 du comité consultatif sur l'accessibilité concernant le programme Nouvelles Frontières. Alors, je passe la parole à conseiller Lalonde.
Merci, Monsieur le Maire. So I just wanted to give council and staff a little context for how we arrived at this resolution that we have out on the table tonight. I'll just read something brief for sake of time. Excuse me. So our Accessibility Advisory Committee has been focusing of late on programs and services to support our residents with developmental disabilities. Our population has grown significantly in the past 5 years, and this includes residents, of course, with developmental disabilities such as autism, Asperger's, fetal alcohol, and mental illness. And we were fortunate at our last meeting to have a guest speaker in the person of Danielle Scarlett, a registered recreation therapist working with youth and adults with developmental disabilities in our township and other municipalities. And Danielle has played an important role in helping deliver much-needed recreation therapy services through the New Frontiers program implemented by our own township, thanks to the initiative of Madame Céline Guittard, our Parks and Rec Director. So Danielle explained that recreation and leisure programming is an essential component of our weekly routine, and this is no different for individuals living with disabilities. Recreation programs teach social skills, independence, self-regulation skills, job skills, and help in making social connections. The New Frontiers program offered by our township has helped fill this gap in the community for recreational activities by providing children, youth, and adults living with various disabilities an opportunity to participate in accessible and inclusive recreation programming that help them build their all-important social connections. So a quality of life issue. The New Frontiers program allows families of individuals living with disabilities to feel valued, to be seen and heard, and most of all, to feel like they are part of our wonderful community. Up to this point, the New Frontiers program in our township has been available in the fall, winter, and spring. And our committee now is urging council to find ways and means to support the already good work being done by our Parks and Rec Director to operate this valuable program on a year-round basis for our residents with developmental disabilities. So this is just to give you the background of where all of this was coming from. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, conseiller Lalonde. Madame Guittard, à travers vous, Monsieur Godin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Maybe if I could just go even further back. This is a program, New Frontiers, that we started years ago, about 15 years ago, if my memory serves me right, through a provincial grant that we were able to secure. We had New Frontiers going maybe for 6-7 years. We were doing fall, winter programs, and even summer camps. And at one point, our clientele got older, and so we kind of lost the momentum, and so the program had ceased for a few years. And fortunately, we were able to restart the program last fall with the help of this new Mrs. Danielle that has been a great help in bringing up and revamping the program. So definitely, if there is a need for summer programming, we'll definitely look into that for next summer. I think this summer it's too late for now, but definitely this summer 25, we could definitely look into bringing back some summer programs. And we're coming back for sure in the fall and the winter. So we were really happy with the outcome of coming back with New Frontiers. This was a program that was really dear to the department, and fortunately, our young adults grew up to be adults, and they had found jobs, and they had other interests. So now I think we're just found another clientele, younger this time, and we might be able to keep them for another longer period, maybe. So it's very we're very happy with the outcome of this program.
Alors, merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup. Suivi?
Yeah, thanks for that, Céline. And maybe to add that we were lucky enough to have our Director of HR with us too, Debbie Guillemette, at the meeting, who got to listen to the presentation. So this is also about the hope of dovetailing some of that program and the great results that we can hope from it with the opportunity for employment that it might create for our township, where we want to look at high-functioning young adults with developmental disabilities actually working for us in our own township. So very exciting, and I think it starts with the program, so looking for that support.
Merci beaucoup. Monsieur Godin, do we need, so the resolution from the Accessibility Advisory Committee is that this be brought forward and that we consider the cost to the 2025 budget. So is there anything needed? Do we need a resolution here, or do we have enough? Monsieur Godin?
Merci, Monsieur Mayor. I think to make it official that we want to move forward with at least exploring this, we could simply, in the resolution, replace receive by approve. And that way it kind of gives direction to the administration to consider this for the budget presentation.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, we'll separate item O. Thank you. Okay, moving forward, reports from an investigator or ombudsman. We have none. Notice of motions, we have none. Questions on question period on meeting of the day. Number one question must be in relation to items on the agenda. Before asking the question, please fill your name and address on the sign-in sheet. If you wish to receive a response from a member of council or staff, please leave a phone number or email on the sheet. State only your name before asking the question. And disclaimer, by asking questions during the council meeting, you are consenting to being part of the live broadcast and the official public recording of the proceedings. Alors, question, commentaire. Question, s'il vous plaît. Pas commentaire, excusez-moi.
Rhonda Bradley, 159 Edie Road. I have a question about the program that we just spoke about for persons with disabilities. I'm a bit confused, so I'm looking for clarity. Is it a recreational program or an employment program?
Madame Guittard.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. It's a recreational program.
Merci.
So no, I thought I heard someone speaking about employment.
I think Madame Guittard was alluding to results after the program had ended, but correct me if I'm wrong, Madame Guittard.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. I think Councillor Lalonde mentioned that Madame Guillemette had mentioned that as the HR manager.
So it's recreational at this point?
Strictly recreational, yeah.
Thank you.
Conseiller Lalonde.
Well, if I could just clarify or reiterate, she is a recreational therapist, so it's about working with these youth and adults through recreation to sort of equip them in those experiences with developing skills. And as I said, there's an opportunity here. This is the investment, I guess, on the part of Township in working with kids and adults like this, to the extent that it can set them up then for success. And if there's an interest on the part of Township, because we do have an accommodation policy, and we explored that a little bit about how you could bring some of that good experience into potential employment opportunities, even if it might be something like helping along with a summer program or a camp, where there's supervision, of course, that this is something we're looking forward to.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Lalonde. Follow-up?
May I just clarify, the reason why I'm interested is that there are instances where people with disabilities will receive employment but not be paid to the same level that they would be if they were in the traditional labor market. And I would want to make sure that if we were extending employment opportunities, that we'd be paying people with disabilities the same that we would be paying anybody else who is occupying the same role.
Thank you. Any additional comments, Madame Guital?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. I think that the municipality would make sure that equity is observed here, so.
Merci. Next question, please.
Hello, Sharon Gunsel, 136 Edie Road. I just wanted to know about the solar panels. What is the location that is being looked at? Is it to do with where our dump was?
That's correct. Monsieur Bourgon?
Yeah, exactly, and it's the surrounding land. So we do also have like an old sand pit that the license was abandoned by the municipality, but we still own the land.
So how many acres are we looking at?
The old the old sand pit, it's 25, and we're looking for it to maximize around the old landfill as well. So potentially up to 45.
Okay. And what would be the estimated timeline for something like that?
Mr. Bourgon?
Well, to prepare their proposition or to their bid, they have 18 months. So the letter of intent here, it's for that duration, 18 months.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for your question. Any additional questions?
Mary Chartrand, 183 Hamilton Road. With regard to the solar panels, so we're getting a letter of intent to discuss. Is that correct? To discuss terms, possible terms?
Monsieur Bourgon?
Yeah, so they're asking us to sign or to enter into agreement under that letter of intent for exclusivity to work with us to prepare their proposition for that project.
So if I understand correctly, typically a letter of intent just protects the them if they're going to invest some money in there, that they have
A guarantee that the municipality is
interested
in
if
the
we're
project.
moving in that direction. But it doesn't bind us in any way to moving forward
No,
with them, correct?
and that was also confirmed by our legal counsel, that that doesn't bind the municipality.
Thank you. Madame Chartrand, follow-up?
So there's 18, I think it was 18 months to, you have a time frame where you can opt out. I'm assuming that's without penalty.
Monsieur
Correct.
Bourgon? Yeah.
Okay. So when we have this discussion, I'm assuming that we're going to probably discuss money coming in for that versus the money that we need to set aside for decommissioning the solar panels.
So, Monsieur Bourgon, before you answer, I would assume that in any business proposition, we look at full cost out, including all of that. But Monsieur Bourgon, please correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
that's correct. And one of the clause for costing, the proponent would be responsible for the decommissioning or removal when that's required. So to the municipality, yes, the cost will be, the exact revenue will be determined throughout that process, but again, to no cost to the municipality.
Yeah, so the net income, so revenues minus all the anticipated expenses. Councillor Lorraine?
Just to that point, and I'm sure that we'll be able to examine that through legal means, but how do we protect ourselves against an organization that goes bankrupt? And then, we say that they have to cover all the costs to do it, but if they go bankrupt, then is that borne on the taxpayer, or is there contingencies that could be put in place to ensure that they have the funding to decommission?
Mr. Bogo?
We'll see. That's a good question, and we'll make sure it's addressed if we ever get to enter an agreement with them.
Merci.
Thank you, Councillor Lorrain. That was where I was going.
Thank you. Thank you for your questions. All right, any additional questions? Thank you. So moving forward to resolutions. Resolution item A, I believe, comes from a deferral from the last meeting. 2025 annual walk the street, the Night Women Without Fear, report CSASCL 2024-4 dated May 13th, 2024, that council designates myself as council representative to attend the 2025 event and represent the township at Russell at the 17th walk ceremony on September 18th, 2024 in L'Orignal, to receive the passing of the torch around 7:35 p.m. and say a few words to the participants to underline the importance of this event and their involvement. Questions, comments from members of council? All right, so I do believe we need a proposer, and right, so proposed by Councillor Deacon, seconded by Councillor Lorrain. All in favor? Thank you very much. All right.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes?
We would need the amendment to add your name, if you
Oh.
don't mind, just a mover,
Okay.
seconder to add.
Thank you. I'm going to be learning these in the next few months. I apologize in advance to
you.
all members of council. Councillor Loren moves to amend to include my name as the council designate, seconded by Councillor Deacon. All in favor of the proposed resolution as amended? Do I need to move or seconder as amended first? No, you're good? Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Okay, all right, now resolutions under items 11. So just to confirm, we have two items that are separated. Item N, as in Nancy, and item... Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. So, panic. Hold on. Yeah. So resolutions, motion that council approve all recommendations listed under the agenda under item 11, reports from all departments and council committees. I need a mover and seconder to put it on the table. Moved by Councillor Lorrain, seconded by Councillor Lalonde. All in favor? No, I don't need to do that.
No, because now we have to.
No, I understand, but to put it on the table, do I have to have a full vote?
A mover, seconder, yet to put
That's
it
all
on
enough.
the table.
Okay, put it on the table. Okay, thank you. All right, now that it's on the table, I need a mover and seconder to remove items N and what's the other one? N and O. So remove items N and O, moved by Councillor Loren, seconded by Councillor Lalonde. Do I need to go all in favor? Yes, all in favor? Okay, good. So now we're going to vote for all items under 11 except for item N and item O. So I need a mover and seconder.
No, we've already done that.
We've done that. So I call for the vote, please. So all in favor, thank you. All items under 11 have been passed with the exception of N and O. So let's start with item N. I need a mover and seconder to put on the table, or do I reread the whole thing? So Councillor Lorrain moved, seconded by Councillor Lalonde, so it's on the table. Item N.
Oh, yes, so I'll make an amendment.
Yeah, so can you please propose?
Yeah, so I propose that we just cross out the last paragraph. So we stop it at the date. Remove the "and" in the first paragraph, and then get rid of that council proceed to provide a direction to the clerk. And then I think we just give direction to bring it back at the June 24th meeting. That's my amendment.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Councillor Lorrain, unless you just want to add at the end of the council provided direction, to bring back the options at the June 24th. That's.
Okay, we can do that as well.
Either way is okay.
Okay, thank you. So I've got
And I'll move it.
okay, moved by Councillor Loren, seconded by Councillor Deacon. All in favor? So that's passed. So this item will come back at the June 24th meeting. Thank you. Moving to item O, I need a mover to put it on the table. Moved by Councillor Loren, seconded by Councillor Lalonde. It's on the table. Questions, comments? No. Yes, yes, an amendment. You're proposing an amendment? Councillor Lalonde?
I guess it would be that Advisory Committee recommends to council for inclusion in the 2025 budget, that a project plan be developed to allow the New Frontier program to operate year-round? Or was there stronger language that
Mr. Godin?
the CAO was prescribing?
Merci, Monsieur Maire. As not stronger, just simpler, maybe just to replace receive by approve, that council approve recommendation 2024-01.
Okay, so we've got an amended option. Do I have a seconder? Seconder by Councillor Deacon. All in favor? All right, that's passed. Thank you very much. Madame Camille-Laflamme, tout va bien? On a tout ce qu'il nous faut? OK. Alors, on avance. All right, so we're moving to bylaws. Number 16, bylaws. So we have an additional bylaw. I don't have the writing for that bylaw here.
Mr. Mayor, we can deal with that one separately if
Okay,
you
so-
want, so we can read it out and.
Sure, okay, let's do that. All right, so motion that council approve bylaws 2024-042 to 2024-043, inclusively for the first, second, and third reading as listed on the agenda. 2024-042 being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw properties at 860 Notre-Dame Street and 1196 Saint-Marie Road in Embrun, report PD 2024-12, and 2024-43 being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw property known as 411 Church Street in Russell, report PD 2024-13. I need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Lauren, seconded by Councillor Deacon. All in favor? Thank you. And one other bylaw, and if we have the text there, that'd be fantastic. Okay, so bylaw 24-45 being a bylaw, sorry. Motion that council approve the proposed bylaw for the first, second, and third reading as follows. 2024-45 being a bylaw to amend section 12, Teens Advisory Committee, D-2 of the committee's appointment bylaw 2022-124 to appoint persons and council representatives of various committees of council. Mayor's suggestion as per 6.4 of the committee bylaw. And we have, we're missing the name though, right?
Yes, so this is the resolution, so we'll show you the bylaw in a few minutes.
Okay, merci. So I need a mover and seconder for the resolution. So moved by Councillor Laurent, seconded by Councillor Lalonde. All in favor? Thank you. Perfect. And now, okay, so c'est bon, oui.
We can just say the names that was removed and the name that was added, just for the public.
Perfect, and that's, those are the names that are there, okay?
So that's Flaviel Levac Leblanc from ESC that was removed, and we've added Aiden Jalbert from STA.
Fantastic. So do I read that out for a vote?
We just approved the
We just
bylaw with
approved,
the
okay,
motion.
perfect.
So that's
Okay.
just for the public to know what we.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that was interesting. I'm learning. All right, number 17, new business or reports, we have none. Number 18, other business presented by council members. So we have 18A, Councillor Deacon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I continue to receive concerns from residents around pedestrian and bike safety on our roads. related specifically to speeding vehicles. And I just want to acknowledge that we have several very smart, very wise improvements that are on the way. We were mentioning the Wade-Castor intersection design, exploring automated speed enforcement. However, those measures I just want to acknowledge that they're going to take some time. And the weather's beckoning our residents, including young residents, outside. So I was looking into whether we have some sort of signage. The City of Ottawa has a program that they call Slow Down for Us signage, hence the name of the item on the agenda tonight. It's my understanding that Russell Township does have some signage in stock that members of the public could put on their properties, just encouraging motorists to slow down for young children, for pedestrians, and that these would be free to the public, these traffic calming signs. So there's about 10 in stock, and I would like to discuss with members of council this evening the possibility of putting in another order, and encouraging or directing the administration to be promoting these signs widely so that residents in hot spots in areas that have these concerns are able to take a short-term action to encourage safer roads.
Merci beaucoup. Monsieur Godin, Monsieur Bourgon, we have about 10 of those signs left in stock? Is that correct?
Merci, Mr. Mayor, that's correct. So we do have about 10 in stock.
Okay.
So should we advertise, and if there was to be a demand for that, we would have to have some more made. We could look into that as far as how much that would cost and how quickly it could happen.
Okay, Councillor Laurent.
And I just want to make sure that from a sign bylaw perspective, are we respecting that bylaw? Like, is there concerns with that? Do we have the ability to have people put these on their lawns for how long? I just want to make sure that there should be. My understanding is there's something that would have to go with that.
Madame Bordeaux.
Yes, these types of signs are exemptions from the sign bylaw, as long as they're on private property.
Merci. Alors, Monsieur Godin, is it fair to say that if we run out of those signs, we can get more signs?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I don't see a major issue with that. If we do advertise and if they leave, if the signs are taken, we can definitely look into purchasing some more.
Okay. Do we need additional guidance to staff from this table?
I think we can gather from this discussion that.
Okay. Merci beaucoup. Councillor Deakin, does that work?
Yep.
Merci.
Okay.
All right. 18B, leaf yard pickup. Councillor Laurent.
Yeah, if I can just ask Mr. Bourgon to just describe how the leaf and yard waste pickup is going to happen next week, because I think there's a change to the process. So I just want to make sure everyone's informed.
Mr. Bourgon.
Merci, Conseiller Laurent, to bring that to our attention. So starting last year, the waste collector asked us if they could move the leaf and yard collection to the date of your assigned date for a waste collection. Make it easier to manage and to know exactly the routes to be done, and to make sure that the waste transfer station is open as well. Because we had the issue last fall that on Saturdays it was closed, or we only open for a limited amount of time, so created problems to be able to collect every resident throughout the same day on the Saturday. So if your waste collection's on the Monday, well, put your leaf and yard at the curb on that Monday.
Did we communicate this change to the residents through our newsletter, through notices?
The changes was made in our calendar.
Okay.
I'll have to confirm with our communication officer for how often was it posted on our social media, but the changes were made on the waste calendar.
I think it has a lot of value. I knew it was coming, but I didn't realize that it was, so that's a good point. Anything else on that? All right, thank you. All right, perfect. Moving along, public consultations and hearings, we have none. Announcements, we have none. Councillor Deakin?
Yeah, I'd like to make a couple if I could. So I believe there's another public information center on May 30th. If I could ask the administration just to, if we have anyone on the live stream or folks in the room, just to share the details of that.
Merci. Monsieur Godin, à travers vous, Monsieur Bourgon.
Merci. Donc, le 30 mai aura lieu une session d'information pour le public afin de présenter les options de chemin possibles dans le parc industriel de 417. So, on May 30th from 6 to 8, we'll have an open house or an information session on option for different layouts of road in the park.
Merci. Et ça aussi, c'est annoncé sur nos sites et nos réseaux sociaux.
And also, everybody that registered to that specific communication received a notice as well a few weeks ago.
Merci, Monsieur Bourgon.
The second announcement that I wanted to make was dimanche le 2 juin. There's a multicultural food event, the Taste of Russell at Salle Camille Pichet. And my understanding is that this event was so popular last year that they needed to reserve a bigger space. They're moving from the Russell Arena space. It's a celebration of cultures from around the world. There will be food from Rwanda, Sri Lanka, Jamaica, India, and more. And I hope to see everyone there to share a meal. And I also wanted to share, to make sure that folks are in tune with what is happening at the county's level. On June 6th, there will be a public consultation on housing and homelessness plan for United Counties in St. Bernardin. And I believe some members of council are planning to attend. Given the distance for residents, I have inquired as to whether virtual input into this plan would also be accepted. But I just wanted to mention that date, June 6th, for that housing and homelessness plan, and encourage those who can attend to make the trip.
Thank you, Councillor Deacon. Any other announcements? Seeing none. Okay, well, 21, strategic discussion, we have none. And 22 is our closed session. So pursuant to section 239, 239.3 and 3.1 of the Municipal Act 2001 SO 2001 Chapter 5, motion to move into the closed meeting at the hour of 7:38 p.m. to address the matters pertaining to Section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 SO 2001 Chapter 25, to consider the matters relating to 1, negotiation of a contract with an organization, report CS 2024-08, S2K, a position, plan, procedure, criteria, or instruction to be applied to any negotiation carried or to be carried on or behalf of the municipality or local board. 2, proposition of solar panel project, if required, verbal report. S2K, a position, plan, procedure, criteria, instruction to be applied to any negotiation carried on or to be carried on behalf of the municipality or local board. And to review closed session minutes of the regular council meeting dated April 8th, 2024, and special council meeting dated April 15th, 2024.
Mr.
So
Mayor, before we proceed, we can remove item 2. It won't be needed.
Perfect. So item 2 is removed. Merci. So I need a mover and a seconder for closed session. So Conseiller Lalonde, seconded by Councilor Lauren. And we are now moving into closed session. Thank you.